One of the best tools in Illustrator, and often missed, is the Shape Builder tool. And I've got it here as a free floating toolbar, and it's here on my toolbar list, and here it is. You can see here. Now I normally have my list as single column, and don't worry, my toolbar won't look like yours because I'm actually running a set of plugins from Astute, which gives me a load of new tools, which are actually a very good set of plugins, but we'll ignore that here. But what we're looking at now is the Shape Builder. And the Shape Builder actually is a set of three. There's the Shape Builder, Live Paint, and Live Paint Selection. And let me show you what it's for. So let's say, for example, I'm going to do like a noughts and crosses example here. Doesn't matter what, I'm just doing it at random. Oh, there we go. And at the moment, these are all separate shapes, separate paths. Don't forget, lines have a fill as well. It's set to white, but they're not curved, so you don't see it. But remember that. However, if I select them all, I can't fill in the inside. It's not a shape. However, when you come to do the Shape Builder tool, you can actually, there you go, see, can you see it highlights the item? So it knows they overlap or they surround an enclosing area, and I can click on it and bingo, it is now colored. It is now a shape. But let's go back to the white arrow tool, and I'll click on an anchor point here, and I can see, I can manipulate it. I can play around with it. See, it's cut. You see, I can play around. So it's a really good way of creating an area, a set of shapes, without actually drawing it manually using the pen tool. And this is very useful if we were doing something in perspective. So for example, let's do a horizon line. And let's say my vanishing point is going to be, oh, let's say here. Thank you. And then I'll do the, now we've got to be careful with Illustrator. We've got to deselect and see, as soon as I roll over, it's going to, so I'm going to go off over slightly. It's a bit of a pain, unfortunately. Even if I deselect it, it thinks I want to go back to it. So I just need to go like that. So I'm doing just a simple brick shape, for example, or a floor shape. You can see here there's an area here that I want, maybe as a road or something else like that. It doesn't matter what I want. And let's do something like approximately through here. I'm just doing it by eye. I'm not being precious about it. And I'm using my perspective lines to make my areas concerned. And let's go over here. And so in the middle, for example, is going to be the top of my brick, and this is the side of the brick, which is a bit difficult to see. So let's select everything. Let's click on the Shape Builder, and I can click and drag all through in here. And this is, in fact, actually, let's undo that because I want to do it this way. So this is the front of the brick, and this is the top of the brick. And then I can, let's switch to the white arrow tool. I can now, the stuff, it's click off, click on. The stuff I don't want, I can just delete or select them manually. And voila, I have my, be careful, you can end up with lots of little bits, but you know, I've been doing it roughly. You see here I have my brick or side of the house or whatever it is in perspective. And it works really well. So I don't have to create a shape and distort it and try and match it. Let's do something else. I'm going to do circles now. And I'm going to, let's have a look. Let's overlap several circles. And they can be different sizes and whatever, it doesn't matter. Select them all, and I will choose the shape builder again. And see, as I roll over, it shows you the intersection of the areas. So if I want a new shape, I can click and drag through. So I want that as one shape. Bingo. If I don't want a shape, if I want to delete instead, so let's say I don't want this lot here, I can hold down Alt to Option and drag around, let go, cut. Alt, Alt, Alt. Boom. I want to keep these two. Alt, Alt, bingo. Now I've got two leaves, petals, or whatever I want. Works really, really well. But we've got something else. We've got two other tools. And what can we do with those? So let's go back to my noughts and crosses example. Now, for this example, let's select everything and let's click on the black arrow tool for the moment. I need my swatches panel up because you need to have a look to see what's going on. So I'll go to Window and Swatches. Here it is. Let's bring it nearer. And you can see I've got various swatches here. And this is important because the next tool along is my live paint bucket. So remember, the shape builder creates shapes or delete shapes that I don't want from overlapping lines, paths, shapes. But the shape builder does the same, except it only colors. So if I click on that and I roll over, it makes a live paint group. You can see, I don't know if you can see, it's a bit small. Click to make a live paint group. But look at the three icons above my cursor. Those are swatches, and those are telling me which swatches I'm looking at the moment. And if I click in the middle, see, it's highlighted it. That is an area. And if I use the arrow keys, I'm going through and check my swatches. It's selecting them there as well. So I can make that yellow. Now, I can't here because there's no sort of surrounding area. They're completely open. But let's go back to the white arrow tool. Click on the path here, drag it, and watch what happens when I move it. It updates, which is really, really handy. But something else to be aware of. Let's select it all. Let's click on the live paint bucket. If I roll over the stroke, I want to change the stroke. It won't let me. Well, double click on the live paint bucket and it says one of the options, which is off by default, paint strokes. So I'll click on that, do OK. Now it highlights that section of the stroke. I can use my arrow keys, choose a color, click, go to the next one, choose a different color, click, and so on and so forth. And you can use up, down, left, right arrow. So I'm going to my group here, you can see, and then so up or down goes to the different groups, left or right, whatever I want, and so on and so forth. It's really, really helpful. And the last tool, which is fairly self-evident, is the live paint selection tool. So it enables me to just select as opposed to doing anything. And I can just delete, delete, delete if that's what I want as well. Or I can click on it just to select it and I can change stroke patterns and so on and so forth. So these three tools, Shape Builder, Live Paint Bucket and Live Paint Selection, very, very useful, easy to use, but keep them in mind because it can make your life really, really easy.